Your excuses are more dangerous than your enemies because your enemies want to defeat you, but your excuses want to comfort you while they slowly destroy your future. Every time you explain why something is not your fault, you give away a piece of your power to change it. Every time you blame circumstances beyond your control, you become a victim of those circumstances. Every time you justify your lack of results with perfectly reasonable explanations. You train your brain to become an expert at failure instead of an expert at success. The most tragic people are not those who fail despite their best efforts, but those who succeed at convincing themselves that their lack of effort was justified. Your excuses may satisfy your ego today, but they will bankrupt your dreams tomorrow. Two men walked into the same company on the same Monday morning. Both were 35 years old, both had the same college degree, both came from middle-class families, both had dreams of success. But 6 months later, one was promoted to regional manager while the other was asked to leave. What made the difference? One man delivered results, the other delivered excuses. The man who got promoted never blamed traffic when he was late. Instead, he left 15 minutes earlier. When clients said no, he didn't complain about the economy, he improved his presentation. When his computer crashed, he didn't spend the day telling everyone about his bad luck. He backed up his files and kept working every single day. He focused on one simple question: what can I control to get the outcome I want? The man who was fired had a different approach when traffic made him late. He told his boss about the construction on Highway 101 when clients rejected his proposals. He explained how the market was too competitive when his computer crashed. He spent 2 hours telling his colleagues about his terrible technology luck. He had an answer for everything, but he never had results. Here is the truth that will change your life if you accept it. The world pays you for results, not reasons. Your bank account doesn't care why you didn't make that sale. Your mortgage company doesn't accept explanations instead of payments. Your children don't eat excuses for dinner. The marketplace is completely neutral. It rewards performance and ignores explanations. This is not cruel. This is actually the greatest news you will ever hear, because it means that your background doesn't matter. Your connections don't matter. Your luck doesn't matter. What matters is what you produce. What matters is what you deliver. What matters is the value you create for other people. Think about the people you respect most in your life. I guarantee they share one common trait. They get things done. They don't talk about what they're going to do. They don't explain why things are difficult. They simply produce results. Your doctor doesn't give you excuses when you're sick. Your mechanic doesn't explain why cars are complicated. They fix the problem. They deliver the outcome you need. The most successful people in history understood this principle completely. When Thomas Edison's laboratory burned down in 1914, destroying millions of dollars of equipment and years of research, he didn't spend time complaining. He told his son to go get his mother because she would never see a fire this big again. The next morning, he was making plans to rebuild. 3 weeks later, his team invented a new type of phonograph. Results, not excuses. When Henry Ford's first car company failed, he didn't blame the investors or the market conditions. He learned from his mistakes and started again. When his second company failed, he didn't give up or make excuses. He analyzed what went wrong and applied those lessons to create Ford Motor Company. Results, not excuses. When Oprah Winfrey was told she was too emotional for television news, she didn't complain about discrimination or unfair treatment. She found a format where her emotions were an asset, not a liability. She focused on what she could control and built a media empire. Results, not excuses. But here's what most people don't understand. These successful people faced the same challenges you face. They dealt with difficult people. They encountered obstacles. They had setbacks and failures. The difference is how they responded to these challenges. They asked better questions. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? They asked, how can I solve this? Instead of asking, who is to blame for this problem? They asked, what can I do right now to move forward? Instead of asking, why is this so unfair, they asked, what can I learn from this situation? Your questions determine your focus determines your actions determine your results. If you ask excuse-based questions, you get excuse-based answers. If you ask result-based questions, you get result-based solutions. Right now, as you listen to these words, your mind is probably creating a list of reasons why your situation is different, why your boss is unreasonable, why your industry is too competitive, why the economy is working against you, why your circumstances are more challenging than other people's circumstances. Stop. This is exactly the thinking that keeps people trapped in mediocrity. Every single person who has ever achieved anything significant has faced obstacles. Every entrepreneur has dealt with rejection. Every leader has encountered criticism. Every success story includes chapters of failure and setback. The difference between winners and losers is not the absence of problems. The difference is the response to problems. Winners see obstacles as information. Losers see obstacles as excuses. Winners see setbacks as feedback. Losers see setbacks as reasons to quit. Here's a simple test that will reveal everything about your future success. When something goes wrong in your life, what is your first instinct? Do you immediately start looking for someone or something to blame, or do you immediately start looking for a solution? Your honest answer to this question will predict your level of success more accurately than your education, your connections, or your current circumstances. The world is full of talented people who never achieve their potential because they become experts at explaining why they can't succeed. They have sophisticated reasons for their lack of results. They can give you detailed explanations about market conditions, unfair competition, and impossible circumstances. But explanations don't pay bills. Reasons don't create wealth. Excuses don't build dreams. Results do. Results are the only currency that matters in the economy of success. Results are what separate the professionals from the amateurs. Results are what transform ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Your brain is wired to protect you from pain. This is a survival mechanism that kept your ancestors alive when they faced physical threats. But in today's world, this same mechanism is killing your dreams. Every time you face a challenge, your brain offers you a choice. Take responsibility and risk failure, or create an excuse and stay comfortable. Excuses feel good in the moment. They protect your ego. They allow you to avoid the discomfort of admitting you made a mistake. They let you blame external circumstances instead of looking at your own performance. But excuses are like financial debt. They provide temporary relief while creating long-term destruction. When you make an excuse, you give away your power. You declare that forces outside your control determine your results. You become a victim of circumstances rather than a creator of outcomes. This victim mentality is the most expensive luxury you can afford because it costs you everything you could become. Let me tell you about Michael, a real estate agent I coached 5 years ago when I first met him. He was earning $30,000 a year, while his colleague Jennifer was earning $200,000 in the same market, working for the same company. Michael had all the answers about why he wasn't succeeding. The market was too competitive, interest rates were too high, clients were too demanding, his territory was the worst in the city. But here's what Michael didn't realize. Jennifer faced the exact same market conditions. She dealt with the same interest rates, the same competitive environment, the same demanding clients. The only difference was her response to these challenges when interest rates went up. Michael complained to anyone who would listen. Jennifer created a presentation showing buyers how to save money in a high-rate environment. When competition increased, Michael blamed the other agents for being too aggressive. Jennifer studied their techniques and improved her own methods. When clients became more demanding, Michael vented his frustrations. Jennifer saw an opportunity to provide better service than her competitors. The transformation happened when Michael finally understood this principle. Successful people experience the same problems as unsuccessful people. The difference is not in the problems they face, but in how they process these problems mentally. Results-oriented people have trained their minds to automatically look for solutions. Excuse-oriented people have trained their minds to automatically look for blame. This mental programming starts with your self-talk. Every moment of every day, you are having a conversation with yourself. You are either building yourself up or tearing yourself down. You are either reinforcing a results mentality or strengthening an excuse mentality. Most people are completely unconscious of this internal dialogue, which is why they keep getting the same disappointing results. Listen to your thoughts for the next 24 hours. When something doesn't go according to plan, what does the voice in your head say first? Does it say, "What can I do differently next time?" Or does it say, "This always happens to me"? Does it say, "How can I solve this problem?" Or does it say, "Why do I have such bad luck?" Your habitual thought patterns create your habitual results. If your first mental response to setbacks is to look for someone to blame, you will spend your life searching for people to blame instead of searching for ways to improve. If your first mental response to obstacles is to find reasons why success is impossible, you will become an expert at impossibility instead of an expert at achievement. But here's the incredible news. You can reprogram your mental responses. You can train your brain to automatically look for solutions instead of excuses. You can develop the same mental habits that separate top performers from average performers in every field. Results-oriented people have developed what I call solution reflexes. When they encounter a problem, they immediately start generating possible solutions. They don't waste mental energy on blame or complaint. They channel all their thinking power into finding ways forward. This mental discipline becomes automatic through practice. Michael learned to catch himself in the act of excuse making. Every time he started to blame external circumstances, he would stop and ask himself 3 questions. What did I do well in this situation? What could I have done better? What will I do differently next time? Within 6 months, his income doubled. Within 2 years, he was earning more than Jennifer. The excuse habit is broken the same way any habit is broken, through conscious awareness and consistent replacement. You must become vigilant about your thought patterns. You must interrupt excuse-based thinking the moment it begins. You must replace victim questions with victor questions. This is not positive thinking. This is practical thinking. This is not about pretending problems don't exist. This is about focusing your mental energy on solving problems instead of explaining them. This is about training your mind to work for you instead of against you. The compound effect of this mental shift is extraordinary. Every time you choose responsibility over blame, you become stronger. Every time you choose solutions over excuses, you become smarter. Every time you choose action over explanation, you become more successful. These small daily choices accumulate into life-changing results. Now that you understand the mental foundation of results-based thinking, let me give you the 4 pillars that every high achiever uses to guarantee their success. These are not theories. These are tested principles that work in any situation, in any industry, at any level. The first pillar is extreme ownership. This means you take complete responsibility for everything that happens in your area of influence. Not partial responsibility, not shared responsibility, complete responsibility. When your team fails to meet a deadline, you don't blame your team members. You ask what you could have done to better support them. When a client rejects your proposal, you don't blame their unrealistic expectations. You examine how you could have presented your value more effectively. Extreme ownership is not about taking blame, it's about taking control. When you own the outcome completely, you gain the power to change the outcome completely. Watch how this works. If traffic makes you late and you blame the traffic, you have no power to solve the problem because you can't control traffic. But if you take ownership of being late, you immediately see solutions. Leave earlier, find alternate routes, or schedule meetings with buffer time. The second pillar is solution focus. Your mind can only hold one dominant thought at a time. You can focus on the problem or you can focus on the solution. You cannot do both simultaneously. Results-oriented people have trained themselves to spend exactly 30 seconds acknowledging a problem, then immediately shift their entire mental energy to generating solutions. Here's how this works in practice. When your biggest client cancels their contract, you give yourself 30 seconds to feel disappointed. Then you ask, what are 3 ways I can replace this revenue within 90 days? When your computer system crashes, you spend 30 seconds assessing the damage. Then you ask, what's the fastest way to get back to full productivity? This mental discipline prevents you from getting trapped in problem-focused thinking. The third pillar is action bias. Perfect plans executed poorly beat perfect plans never executed. Most people wait for ideal conditions before they take action. Results-oriented people take action to create ideal conditions. They understand that clarity comes through action, not through thinking when you have an 80% solution. Act on it. You will learn more from taking imperfect action than from creating perfect plans. The market will give you feedback. Your customers will show you what works. Your results will teach you what to adjust, but only if you take action first. The fourth pillar is measurement mindset. You cannot manage what you do not measure. Every results-oriented person tracks their key performance indicators daily. They know their numbers. They monitor their progress. They adjust their strategies based on data, not on feelings or opinions. If you want to lose weight, you weigh yourself daily. If you want to increase sales, you track your calls appointments and closing ratios. If you want to improve your relationships, you measure the quality time you spend with people who matter. What gets measured gets improved. What gets ignored gets worse. These 4 pillars work together like the legs of a table. Remove any one pillar and the entire structure becomes unstable. But when you combine extreme ownership with solution focus, action bias, and measurement mindset, you become unstoppable. Linda Moret, a marketing manager I worked with, applied these 4 pillars when her department's performance dropped 40% in 1 quarter. Instead of blaming budget cuts or market conditions, she took ownership of the results. She focused on solutions rather than problems. She took immediate action with limited resources. She measured everything and adjusted weekly. Within 6 months, her department not only recovered, but exceeded their previous performance by 25%. The same market conditions, the same budget constraints, the same team, but completely different results because of completely different thinking. These pillars become your default operating system. They transform how you approach every challenge, every opportunity, every goal in your life. Knowledge without implementation is worthless. You now understand the 4 pillars, but understanding and applying are 2 completely different things. The difference between people who attend seminars and people who transform their lives is simple. One group learns principles, the other group builds systems to live those principles daily. Your first system is the morning results ritual. Every morning, before you check your phone or read your email, you spend 10 minutes answering 3 questions. What is the most important result I must produce today? What obstacles might prevent me from achieving this result? What specific actions will I take to overcome these obstacles? Write down your answers. This simple practice programs your mind for results-oriented thinking from the moment you wake up. Your second system is the public commitment strategy. Private goals remain wishes, public commitments become realities. Tell 3 people about your most important goal this month. Give them permission to ask you about your progress. Better yet, tell them you will pay them $50 if you don't achieve your goal by the deadline, suddenly. Your goal becomes a commitment. Your accountability becomes automatic. Your third system is the environment design method. Your physical environment shapes your mental environment. Remove every excuse trigger from your workspace. If you want to exercise more, put your workout clothes next to your bed. If you want to read more, put books everywhere and hide your television remote. If you want to eat healthier, fill your refrigerator with healthy food and throw out everything else. Make good choices automatic and bad choices difficult. Your fourth system is the 24-hour solution rule. When you encounter any problem, you have exactly 24 hours to find at least 3 possible solutions. Not 3 perfect solutions, 3 possible solutions. This deadline forces your brain to shift from problem analysis to solution generation. Most problems that seem impossible on day 1 have obvious solutions on day 2, but only if you commit to finding them. Your fifth system involves surrounding yourself with results-oriented people. Show me your 5 closest friends and I will predict your income, your health, your happiness, and your future. If your friends make excuses, you will make excuses. If your friends complain about their circumstances, you will complain about your circumstances. But if your friends focus on solutions and take action toward their goals, you will automatically adopt the same mindset. This means you may need to change your social circle. This is not cruel. This is essential. You cannot rise to your potential while surrounded by people who are committed to staying at their current level. Find people who are getting the results you want. Study their habits, model their behavior, adopt their standards. Your sixth system is momentum management through small wins. Big results come from small actions, repeated consistently. Instead of trying to transform everything at once, choose one small behavior that moves you toward your goal. Do it every day for 30 days until it becomes automatic. Then add another small behavior. This creates unstoppable momentum. Carlos, a sales manager I coached, used these systems to triple his team's performance in 8 months. He started each morning with the results ritual. He made public commitments about his monthly targets. He redesigned his office to eliminate distractions. He applied the 24-hour rule to every customer objection. He stopped spending time with negative colleagues and started having lunch with top performers from other departments. He focused on one small improvement each month instead of trying to fix everything simultaneously. The transformation was remarkable. His team went from last place to first place in their region, but more importantly, these systems became his new way of operating. Results became his default setting instead of his occasional achievement. And these systems work because they remove the need for willpower or motivation. They create automatic behaviors that produce consistent results regardless of how you feel on any given day. They transform you from someone who occasionally gets good results to someone who consistently produces excellent results. The world has changed. We are now living in what I call the results economy, where your value is determined not by your intentions, your effort, or your potential, but solely by what you deliver. This shift is accelerating every day, and those who understand it will thrive, while those who ignore it will struggle. In the old economy, you could build a career by showing up consistently, following procedures, and avoiding mistakes. Loyalty to a company often guaranteed job security. Time spent at your desk was confused with productivity. But technology has changed everything. Today, artificial intelligence can do routine tasks better than humans. Global competition means someone on the other continent can often do your job faster and cheaper. The only protection you have is your ability to produce results that others cannot or will not produce. This is actually the greatest opportunity in human history. In the results economy, your background becomes irrelevant. Your connections become secondary. Your starting point becomes meaningless. The only thing that matters is what you can deliver. This levels the playing field like never before. Consider Amanda, a single mother from a small town in Oklahoma who started cleaning houses to pay her bills. She had no college degree, no business experience, and no connections. But she understood the results economy instinctively, while other cleaning services focused on being cheap. Amanda focused on being excellent. She arrived exactly on time. She cleaned every surface completely. She treated every home like it was her own. Within 6 months, her clients were recommending her to their friends. Within a year, she had a waiting list. Within 2 years, she hired her first employee. Within 5 years, she owned the largest residential cleaning company in 3 counties, employing 47 people and generating over $2 million in annual revenue. Amanda succeeded because she understood a fundamental truth in the results economy. Excellence is rare, which makes it extremely valuable. Most people do just enough to avoid getting fired. Most companies provide just enough service to avoid losing customers. Most professionals deliver just enough quality to meet minimum standards. This creates enormous opportunities for anyone willing to exceed expectations consistently. Your reputation in the results economy becomes your most valuable asset. Every interaction you have is either building or destroying your reputation. Every project you complete is either enhancing or diminishing your personal brand. Every deadline you meet or miss is either strengthening or weakening your credibility. The beautiful thing about reputation is that it compounds. When you become known as someone who delivers exceptional results, opportunities start finding you instead of you having to find them. People begin recommending you for projects. Clients start asking for you specifically. Employers compete to hire you. This is how ordinary people create extraordinary careers. But building this reputation requires what I call consistent excellence. You cannot deliver great results occasionally and expect to be recognized as a results-oriented person. You must deliver great results so consistently that people begin to expect excellence from you. This means performing at your highest level even when no one is watching. This means exceeding expectations even on small projects. This means treating every task as an opportunity to strengthen your reputation. Technology amplifies both excellence and mediocrity if you produce outstanding work. Technology helps you reach more people, serve more clients, and create more impact. But if you produce average work, technology exposes your limitations to a wider audience and makes it easier for others to replace you. Professionals who thrive in the results economy have developed what I call a personal success formula. This is their unique combination of skills, knowledge, and approaches that consistently produces superior outcomes. They know exactly what they do better than anyone else. They know exactly how they create value that others cannot create. They know exactly what results they can guarantee. Your personal success formula becomes your competitive advantage. It is what makes you irreplaceable in a world where everything else can be automated or outsourced. It is what allows you to command premium prices for your services. It is what creates security in an uncertain economy to develop your personal success formula. Ask yourself these questions. What results do I produce better than 95% of people in my field? What unique approach do I use that others do not use? What value do I create that would be difficult for someone else to replicate? What would my best clients say is special about working with me? The answers to these questions reveal your unique value proposition. Once you identify it, your job is to refine it, strengthen it, and become known for it. This is how you build a career that is both financially rewarding and personally fulfilling. Living successfully in the results economy also requires continuous improvement. What produced excellent results last year may produce average results this year. What impressed clients 5 years ago may be expected as standard service today. You must constantly evolve your capabilities to stay ahead of rising expectations. This means investing in yourself continuously. Read books that improve your skills, attend seminars that expand your knowledge, learn from people who are getting better results than you are getting. Study emerging trends in your industry. Develop new capabilities before they become necessary. But here is the most important truth about the results economy. It rewards those who help others get results. The highest paid people in every field are those who make other people more successful. They are the coaches who help athletes win championships. They are the consultants who help companies increase profits. They are the teachers who help students achieve their goals. They are the leaders who help teams exceed their targets. Your long-term success depends on your ability to create results not just for yourself, but for everyone you serve. When you make other people more successful, they become invested in your success. When you help others achieve their goals, they help you achieve your goals. This creates a network of mutual success that becomes more powerful than any individual achievement. This brings us to your moment of decision. Everything you have heard today can remain interesting information, or it can become the foundation for transforming your life. The choice is entirely yours. I challenge you to make a 90-day commitment to living these principles. For the next 90 days, take complete ownership of your results. Focus on solutions instead of problems. Take action even when conditions are not perfect. Measure your progress daily. Implement the 6 systems we discussed. Begin developing your personal success formula. 90 days from today, you will either be the same person you are right now, or you will be someone who has tasted the power of results-oriented living. You will either have the same income, the same relationships, and the same level of success, or you will have begun the transformation that leads to everything you have ever wanted. The world respects results, not excuses. The world pays for value, not intentions. The world rewards those who deliver, not those who explain why they cannot deliver. Starting today, you can choose to join the ranks of people who make things happen. Your results are waiting. Your success is waiting. Your extraordinary life is waiting. The only question is, are you ready to claim what belongs to you